It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino Is the Name. And in this video, we're going to be comparing the top 10 richest NBA players versus the top 10 richest hedge fund managers. So, truth be told, this video was actually a request, okay? We're live right now as well, but this video was actually a request. I had done a video like this some years back, and someone said, hey, this would be a cool video to do an update. And, you know, I thought about it, and I was like, well, I don't know if it would really be a good video because hedge fund managers were so far ahead of NBA players in the past. But, you know, I started doing some research, and NBA players are becoming billionaires more than they had in the past. So NBA players' net worth and salaries have risen quite a bit. So I was like, you know, this would be actually, I guess, an interesting video because maybe that gap has like gotten closer, you know. So what I did was I wasn't looking at salaries, I was looking at net worth. And so let's start. You know, I actually was surprised after seeing this because I was seeing, you know, I had read that, you know, Michael Jordan was a billionaire and his net worth has grown quite significantly. So too has LeBron James and Magic Johnson. And, you know, looking at this list, there was even a couple guys, they weren't billionaires, but, you know, they had a couple $100 million and, you know, they haven't played basketball in a very long time. And I was kind of just surprised, like saying Grant Hill, right? I was just surprised he was in the top 10 highest net worth individuals who'd ever played, you know, I guess, who ever professional basketball players. So it was kind of a surprise. But here we go. You know, I was surprised by those numbers, but the biggest surprise was, well, we'll get into that. All right. So I'm gonna start with the basketball players, right? I got like 4 phones right here. So let me see. I think I have the basketball players on this phone. All right. Let me tell you the part that was the most surprising. Well, I'm gonna just get into it. All right. So, according to this list that was put out by CEO World.biz, CEOWorld.biz for 2023, I think it's from October. And I believe that Magic Johnson has actually moved up on this list. But it had number 1, Michael Jordan, worth $3 billion. LeBron James, $1 billion, so that's $4 billion right there. It says Magic Johnson, $630 million. I believe Magic Johnson just became a billionaire. So let's add, you know, well, according to this list, we're just going to go off this list because this was the most recent list that I've seen so far. I mean, I'm sure there may be another list, but this is the one that I was going off of. Okay, so Magic Johnson at $630 million. I'm not sure who this is, but Junior Bridgman, he's worth $620 million. Not sure who that guy is, but he was a professional basketball player. Shaquille O'Neal, salute to Shaq, you know. Shaq is worth a reported $450 million. Vinnie Johnson is worth $420 million. I'm not sure who that is. Please don't get mad at me, okay? I don't know who this person is. Kevin Durant, another surprise, worth $320 million. I mean, he's been playing for a long time, but it just wasn't a name that I was even thinking of. Hakeem Olajuwon, right behind Kevin Durant at $310 million. Olajuwon was getting that bag. Y'all playing. John Wall, this was a big surprise to me. John Wall reported to be worth $300 million. Grant Hill, $260 million. I never would have thought that. Never would have thought that. David Robinson, he hasn't played in a very long time. His net worth is $230 million, which is interesting because, you know, he was one of the Twin Towers, if this is the same David Robinson. And I don't see Tim Duncan on this list for the top 10. As a matter of fact, David Robinson is actually number 11. So the top 10 actually stops at Grant Hill. So what I did was I added the net worth, the combined net worth of the top 10 NBA players to one sum, right? And that amount came to be, I think it's on this phone. Let's see. I think that amount is on this phone. Let's see. I could be wrong. Nope, it's not on this phone. Maybe it's on this one. All right, let's see. Okay, it's on this phone. Okay, so the top 10 richest NBA players, their total came to, this is a pretty big number, 7.3, can't see it. 7.3 billion. Oh, Max A's, what's popping, brother? What's good, two phones? Yeah, I got 4 right here. I actually have 5 phones, but I'm not sure even where my little small iPhone is. But I'm a content creator, so I got a lot of phones. That's the reason for that. But it's 7.3 billion, which is a lot of money. So I was like, okay, this is going to be good. Let's see where this would rank on the list of hedge fund managers, like on the top 10. Okay, so now let's go look and see. And here's going to be the surprising part. Let's see on the top 10 list where they compare to the hedge fund managers. If I added up all the hedge fund managers, or how many, which hedge fund manager with their collective on the top 10 list compared to, like, would it be number 5 on the list? And here is the most interesting part. All right, I'm going to start at number 1. Okay, so the richest hedge fund manager of 2023 is Ken Griffin. Ken Griffin with Citadel, his net worth alone is $35 billion. So clearly the combined net worth of all the top 10 richest basketball players does not come anywhere even close to just him by himself. So let's go to another one. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 on the list is Jim Simmons or Simons. I think it's Simons. Jim Simons. Jim Simons is worth $28 billion. Okay, 28.1 billion. Let's be clear. Okay, so the combined net worth of Michael Jordan, LeBron, Grant, and all of these guys it's not even fair, right, to compare him to them. So let's move on. So the combined net worth of all of them is not anywhere close to the top 2. So let's look at number 3, Ray Dalio. Okay, he was actually on the thumbnail of this, is Mr. Ray. So his net worth is $19.1 billion with Bridgewater Associates. $19.1 billion. The combined net worth of all 10 NBA players was $7.3 billion. Okay, let's give them $7.4 billion. All right. Because Magic Johnson did become a billionaire as well. So add a couple $100 million for him. But their combined net worth is $7.4 billion. Nowhere close to number 3 on the list. Okay. Number 4, and this guy is one of my favorite ones because I actually used him as a case study for another video. And his net worth is $18.5 billion. Okay, $18.5 billion is in the number 4 slot. So the combined net worth of all 10 NBA players is nowhere close to this amount of money. Number five on the list. And remember, the number we need to match up, we need the NBA player's salary to be above at least one of these guys on the top 10 list. And we're still, we're at number 5 right now, and it's 17.5 billion is Mr. Steve Cohen. Okay, so still not in the number 5 slot. So I'm wondering, if the combined net worth of all top 10 richest NBA players is going to at least compare to maybe number 8 or number 9 on this list, let's keep going. All right. So number 6 on the list, Carl Icahn. Let me see. You know what? This is not even fair. His net worth and number 5's net worth, Steve Cohen and Carl Icahn, is the exact same. So 17.5 billion. The NBA players don't stand a chance so far. Okay, number 7. I'm thinking they might be, they're going to fall down to like number 9. They definitely won't be richer than number 8. At this rate, all right? Number 7 on the list is Michael Platt, okay? Michael Platt. Michael Platt is worth $16 billion all on his own. $16 billion, all right? This is getting crazy. This is getting out of hand, right? Max Ace, wouldn't you say? I'm looking over here because this is where I can see the chat. But when you say this is getting out of hand, all right, number 7 is still richer than all 10 combined. This is not going well. 16 billion is the number 7 slot. So number 8 for hedge fund managers is Israel Englander, okay? Israel Englander is worth, in the number 8 slot, is worth 11.5 billion. Now, I know you may be thinking that still is quite a bit away, but at least the number has dropped significantly. So it's getting close. We just need one person in the top 10 to be less than 7.4 billion, because that's what the combined net worth of all top 10 richest, wealthiest NBA players is 7.4 billion. That's including LeBron, Jordan, Magic Johnson, everybody combined, 7.4 billion in net worth. And so far, the number 8 slot, one person, one hedge fund manager is 11.5 billion. But we're close. So let's go down to number 9. Okay. Number 9 is 8.5 billion. But look, 8.5 billion. We just dropped down from two separate hedge fund managers. We just dropped down from 17.5 billion to 8.5 billion. It was like 17.5 billion, then 11 billion, and then now we're 8.5 billion. We just need the number 10 slot. The number 10 slot just needs to be below $7.4 billion in order for us to at least say the top 10 richest NBA players, wealthiest NBA players, net worth is more, at least, than the number 10 richest hedge fund manager. So let's see what number 10 is. And number 10, there it is. There it is, guys. 7.9 billion by David Shaw. The top 10 richest, wealthiest NBA ex-basketball, current basketball players, all of it combined is not even enough to eclipse the number 10 slot on the hedge fund manager net worth. As a matter of fact, The number 11 slot is held by Paul Tudor Jones, and he's at $7.5 billion. So, I was actually very surprised in this situation. Okay, hold up. Let me see. Paul Blankston says, data never lies. Data don't lie. Men lie, women lie. Numbers do not lie. Okay? So, Max A says, how does hedge fund manager get that bread like that? You know, it's funny because these are the guys, you know, when you think about NBA players, right? Who are the people who sign the checks for the NBA players to get paid? It's probably a hedge fund manager. It's probably a hedge fund manager. As a matter of fact, I think David Tepper, what does he own? He owns, I know he has some stake in a professional team. Let me see which one it is. Let me go back up. I think he was like, what, number 4? Yeah, number 4. And it says he bought the Carolina Panthers, the NFL's Carolina Panthers in 2018 for $2.3 billion. So let me tell you about David Tepper. I believe it was, let me see. And you want to know how they get so much money. They get so much money because they let everybody else chase the wrong goal. You should be chasing the goal of being a hedge fund manager, but instead we send our children to play sports. And I just came from my son's basketball game. He did really good, and the crowd was cheering, but nobody was thinking about being a hedge fund manager. I can guarantee nobody in that entire building was thinking about being a hedge fund manager. Max A says, I like this type of information. Yes, man. You know, that's why if you listen to my intro, I say hedge fund managers, some of them making $1 million an hour. And, you know, that's part of my intro, you know, that the money is so crazy that it's almost unfathomable, you know. So, and that's why I say I'm going to give you an example. So, David Tepper, what I liked about his, you know, using him as a case study was, let me see, hold on, let me look it up so I can quote it the correct way. Because in 2013, hold on. Hold on, let me figure out where it is. And see, the money is constantly moving, right? These guys is making hundreds of millions of dollars easily, and you know, sometimes in one move, and it's a different world. And let me see how much he spent on this painting. Trying to see how much he spent on this painting. Let's see. What is that? Apple. Trying to see, because he has millions and millions of dollars just in artwork, right? He has like some of their, like, people's entire okay, here we go. This one is cool. All right. So this isn't the full, where is it? Trying to see where it talks about the 70 million. Or 67 million. Where is it? Okay. Tepper's known for feeling. Okay. All right. So in 2013, right? I'm trying to give you out some context. All right. So in 2013, LeBron James was the highest paid basketball player in the world. I don't know if he was the highest paid athlete, right? Because I don't know where Floyd Mayweather was during this time frame, or those soccer player guys. But in the basketball, he was the highest paid basketball player in 2013. He made $70 million. And that wasn't all from basketball. That was like that year he brought in $70 million. Like with everything. The shoe deals, he brought in $70 million. And that was unheard of. That is unbelievable, the kind of money he brought in. And also the CFO of Google, the CFO, it was a lady, I can't remember her name, because this was part of my little case study or whatever. That's how I remember this. So the CFO of Google, she brought in also like $70 million from taking her position because they gave her stocks and stuff with Google. Excuse me, it's the lights. But they gave her like $70 million package, right? But I think her salary was like $650,000, but she had these stock options and stuff that would be valued at around $70 million with everything. And so her and LeBron James both brought in $70 million. Now, the beauty part of, I guess, her situation is she wasn't famous, right? Like nobody knows that this lady is making what LeBron James makes. And it's like her first year. She wasn't the highest paid CFO for a major company, but she was a CFO at a decent salary and, whole package and everything. It was nice, worth $70 million. David Tepper, and so just even looking at those two, right, and we think about LeBron James he was the best basketball player and arguably the best basketball player we've ever seen. Right, he wasn't the leading scorer at the time, but he is now. But this was like prime LeBron James. He made $70 million. This lady made $70 million. Excuse me, it's a lot, I'm telling you. But nobody knows who the lady is. Like nobody knows who the lady is, and nobody knows who David Tepper is. Right, David Tepper. Could y'all do me a favor since we live? Could y'all do me a favor? Could you humor me and Google how much David Tepper made in 2013? I'll wait. It's crazy. In the same time that LeBron James made $70 million and the CFO of Google, like I said, nobody knows her first year, they gave her $70 million. Not her first year working now. I'm not saying that was her first job, but her first year working for the company, they gave her $70 million. All right? But they gave her $70 million. LeBron made $70 million. Guess how much David Tepper made in 2013, in the same year that they made their money? Can somebody put it in the chat? How much David Tepper, DavidTepper, I'm going to type his name in the chat. Oh, I can use this. I'm going to use this. See the thing? David Tepper, 2013. 2013. How much money did David Tepper make in 2013? Let me see something. Oh, I'm getting blurry. Hold on. Let me refocus here. How do I refocus this thing? Oh, there we go. All right. There we go. That's what I need. All right. All right, Max Ace, you're the winner. Everybody clap it up for Max Ace. He got the number. Okay, David Tepper made $3.5 billion in 2013. Now, do this. If you put $3.5 billion in a calculator and you say, okay, the average worker or person works 40 hours a week, and you multiply that by 52 weeks, you'll get 2,080 hours. If you divided $3.5 billion by 2,080 hours, you'll get about $1.6 million an hour, right? Now, LeBron James and this lady made $70 million apiece. You can look it up. David Tepper donated He said in 2013 he donated $67 million to Carnegie Mellon University to fund a new building. That's right. He donated $67 million. He donated what the entire income was. He gave it away. Hey, here's a donation. You know why? Because do y'all know how much a billion? You know how much 1% of $1 billion is? Anybody know that? I'll tell you. It's 10 million. 1% of $1 billion is 10 million. 1%. Just 1%. Okay? So just imagine he had 3.5 billion. You know, we're talking 2% of his money that came in, and he's been making money for years. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So you can't even compare these guys to basketball players because these are the guys who the basketball players are working for. And they just have those teams as fun things. They're not actually making really money probably from most of them. They just have them as toys. Because like when you can buy anything, what do you want to buy? $1 billion is 1,000 millions. Okay, so to make 3,500 millions in 1 year, what do they have on earth? Yeah, and the donation is a write-off, and you get to name a business school after yourself. I mean, it also pushes your name, your legacy, but we're trying to send our kids to play basketball. Me too, okay? Because he want to do it, but don't get me wrong, I am in his ear. Hey, you need to be an accountant. You need to think about maybe we need to form a hedge fund. These are the kind of conversations we need to be having with our kids. But we not. Because, see, people who come from money, they tell their kids, go become a financier, go become a hedge fund manager. There's this one guy, he was like, he had a hedge fund, like either come right out of high school or in high school or something, like a small fund. But his daddy was a hedge fund manager with hundreds of millions of dollars. His brother was a hedge fund manager. Like, he just comes from hedge fund managers. So it was a natural thing for him to have a $50, $60 million hedge fund or something like that, because that's like super small. Yeah, right. Curtis, that's exactly right. Yeah, he said the donations are write-offs, facts, the teams are toys. Yeah, I mean, think about it. You get to get in the game free. You know what I'm saying? You put on an event every night or every other night or whatever. You get to participate in the clique. And y'all can have y'all meetings and whatever else. Rich people like to deal with other rich people. I understand it. I ain't got that kind of money. I want to deal with rich people too. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here. Yes, form a hedge fund after basketball. Yeah. Right. Well, they would if they knew what they were doing, but it's still, it's still one of those things, like LeBron, is a basketball guy, right? But, at least form your own leagues or something, like something. But, these are the things we should be teaching our kids. And I do understand, like LeBron can make money off of being who he is, and he loves this sport. I get it. He's following his passion. I completely get it. And he still became a billionaire from, think about it. He was never going to be a hedge fund manager coming out of the circumstances he came from, the harsh environment of what, his neighborhood and everything like that. He was never going to be exposed even to the thought of a hedge fund, like most of us aren't, right? I'm doing exposing now. That's what I push forward, It said Mark Cuban selling the Mavs, small $60 million fund. Yeah. That's a small fund. It's almost hard to even, $60 million fund is from what I've learned, is almost hard to keep afloat, you typically want hundreds of millions of dollars, to be at your fund disposal, But yeah, so I just wanted to get on here and holler at you guys real quick. I definitely need to talk about hedge funds more often, and I got a guy I gotta work with from Galvanized Financial. I got to get with him and try to get him on the channel so he can talk about this building wealth and starting funds and those kind of things. You still need to know what you're doing, right? And these people know what they're doing, and so they know how to grow money and stuff like that. But you definitely want to maybe. Like, for instance, you got kids, and so we taking our kids to play football and basketball, and they're the team, the NFL teams are owned by the financial sector, like guys who in the financial sector, like from accounting to finance to economics majors to whatever, these guys, they're in the financial sector. So, but we're sending our kids to go try to compete with the top athletes in the world. Like, I was never gonna be LeBron James, but I could have been a hedge fund manager. You see what I'm saying? There's much less competition. You don't have to be as special. You got to be born to be that. I can promise you, I can probably beat most of these hedge fund managers in basketball. I'm telling you, what they're doing isn't that. It's more this. So LeBron is 0.0001% chance become hedge fund before NBA career. Yeah, it's almost non-existent, It's almost non-existent. You probably never even heard of a hedge fund manager or whatever. Like, when do we hear about this? You got them on TV, like there's now shows and stuff, but the regular person still doesn't really understand it. They think, they just trade stocks. They don't know what a hedge fund is. They don't even know what it means to hedge. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what that means. Okay, so since I'm saying it, I might as well say it. So to hedge would be like to put your money into something to prevent. It's called hedging against the dollar. You're hedging against inflation. So like buying gold is a hedge. Like, okay, I think money is going to decrease in value, so I'm going to buy something else to hold value against, so we don't lose money or whatever, and hopefully to grow. And so hedge funds hedge money. They buy other things with money, and they either hope that it goes up, something they can sell or whatever. And so they're hedging the money, And so when you're talking about that kind of money, imagine the neighborhoods that you could buy, right? Imagine it. I got let's say I got $100 million real estate fund, and my whole neighborhood, let me see, this house I paid $200. You know what? Let me do the numbers on this. Okay, hold on. So I paid $233,000 for this house when I bought it back in 2016, 17. You multiply that, let's say 70 houses in this neighborhood, that's 16 million. 16 million, right? And then that was a profit. That they made a profit on it. I don't know what their profit is, but let's say they built this house at maybe, I don't know, because they're building at scale. So let's say they built this house for $140,000. I don't know. This is back in a little while back. So they built it for $140,000. So they made a profit. But with $16 million, you could build this neighborhood. At least at the time, I'm sure you could probably do it again. You could build a neighborhood with like 70 houses with like 16 million, depending on what you're getting land for or whatever. But $16 million. These guys got $400 million, $800 million that they're working with. They're buying buildings and whole city blocks, like in downtown Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different kind of thing. What could you do with $80 million at your disposal? Jeez, of course you can make money, right? Of course you can make money. Curtis Davis says, right, you have more chances to be smart hedge fund versus basketball star. Right. And you know what? Some of those guys aren't necessarily smart. It's just that they know what they're doing. See, there's a difference. Like there's people who got jobs and they're able to do their job and they can maybe do their job well. They're not necessarily the most intelligent. It's just they know what they're doing. You know, if you give somebody enough experience or something, you know, hopefully if they halfway decently intelligent, they kind of get on, you know, catch on. But, you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel or anything. It's plenty of people who have real estate and they just rent it to somebody. They just rent it. They ain't got to be rocket scientists or whatever. And so it's once you learn a certain thing, it's not that difficult. Curtis Davis says LeBron from hood and humble beginnings. That's a fact. If you have 100 million fund, you can do that. You can do a lot. Yeah, you can do crazy amounts of things. Crazy. Okay, so you know, don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? You see me pop up with a hedge fund one day. No, I don't even want to fool folks' money for real. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, does cross my mind for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here. You know, y'all been rocking with me. I've been dropping like crazy. If y'all ain't seen, I think I done dropped 5 videos besides this one today. And I really had a couple more I needed to get out, but I had to go to my son game and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come go live for the folks. I'm going to be recording. Probably not going to be dropping as many videos in one day. Today was the last day of the month. So I was like, you know what? Let me drop as much as I can to get this month out. And because my channel was doing bad, man. My channel was doing bad. And, you know, we doing content like this. You know, top 10 richest NBA players don't even compare to the brokest hedge fund manager on the top 10 list. They didn't even make they you know, the top 10 NBA players combined net worth couldn't even make it to the number 11 slot on the hedge fund manager list. And with all of them combined, put them all together. But we don't tell our kids to go be hedge fund managers. We tell our kids to try to make it to the NBA. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, hold on. Let me see. Okay. I'm expert at my job, but I don't make enough to buy into $1 million project. I could dig that. I know what you kind of mean. I mean, I know what you mean. Now, doctors make $500,000, can flip that money into many business ventures. Yeah. But, you know, believe it or not, even a lot of doctors, they're just doctors. They lose a lot of money trying to flip stuff. They don't know what they're doing. You know, they're not really focused in that way. A lot of them aren't, or they aren't like interested. They just want to make their money and enjoy their life. They're not trying to be business owners or whatever. And so, you know, it's a particular kind of person, you know, that is out here trying to do all of that. Like y'all hustlers, we try and get it. We try and run it up. Y'all already know what's happening with me. So, you know, it's a different mentality. A lot of people are just happy with just working, you know, or just doing the thing that they do, you know. Yeah. But, you know, this channel was doing crazy bad. People was like, are you shadow banned? I don't know, but I wasn't doing enough content. So I'm back. I'm more focused than I ever been. We finna take this thing to the top. We finna try to get to 100,000 subscribers. We trying, you know, we just trying to run it up. I'm dropping content. I ain't making no money from none of this, for real. Like, I ain't making hardly no money from YouTube, all right? But I'm still dropping this content. We still providing quality. We still pushing. I want everybody to get $1 million next year, you know what I mean? And or more, depending on where you at, you feel me? But I want everybody to get $1 million or at least get another extra 100,000 that you didn't have last year. And that's how we rock it. That's how we rock it, okay? So how would you transition to hedge fund world from accounting? Oh, well, That's actually an interesting question. So, a hedge fund, well, so it's all in the same world. I mean, it's different. So if you an accountant or a hedge fund manager watching this, don't jump down my throat. When I think about the financial sector, it's all the same to me. Of course, there's different roles, different positions, different types of businesses that you can form. But accounting, finance, economics, all those kind of things, they are all kind of interconnected in my mind. So to be a hedge fund manager, though, you don't necessarily even, I don't believe you need a degree. You may have to take like some kind of tests, some kind of quiz, or no, I don't even think you need to do that. Like, cause I'm thinking about series like 7 where you're selling like you're like a broker, where you're selling, you know how people sell insurance, and then the next level they're selling like an investment vehicle kind of thing. But with a hedge fund, I don't believe you even need to do that. I believe you pay the money that it takes to get your fund registered, and you decide if you're going to go through accredited investors or non-accredited investors. And so it's more so about getting the documents together and get set up. The last hedge fund manager, the guy from Galvanized Financial, me and him were talking. I think he said $30,000 to like start a hedge fund. But, you know, and then you just get people to invest in it. But going through accredited investors, that's a funny word to say, accredited. Accredited investors versus non-accredited investors. There's the accredited investors have a certain net worth and, you know, income and all that kind of stuff versus non-accredited. So you wouldn't be able to, you have a lot more flexibility when dealing with an accredited investor versus a non-accredited. So I would be targeting accredited investors because it's easier to work with from the hedge fund side versus all the disclosures that you have to do when you're working with non-accredited. That's kind of like the problem with, say, like the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund was accepting money from people who are not seasoned investors. That's the difference between a non-accredited and an accredited investor. The belief is the accredited investor has more experience investing, so you don't have to divulge as much information to them as you do the people who are not familiar with it. So, but you decide if, you know, who money you're gonna go after. So anyway, I was just coming on here letting you guys know that, you feel me? If you guys find any value in this video, hold on, how many likes we got? Okay, we got 6 likes. If you haven't already liked the video, please like the video, share this content, watch this video back, find some of my other hedge fund video conversations that we have on here, and I'm going to try to get a hedge fund manager on here so we can talk about, you know, building wealth and that kind of thing. Would you guys like to see that kind of stuff? Even maybe you wouldn't even want to see nothing so ridiculous about how to get millions and millions of dollars for your family and stuff. Y'all probably don't want to see nothing like that, right? You guys don't want to see that. I'm sure, I know Curtis Davis don't want to see it, and I know Max Ace definitely do not want to see that, you know? I get that. But the transition from accounting, it's, you know, it's kind of the same thing to me in the way I see things. A hedge fund is just another avenue to make money in the financial space, right? Most people don't understand financial products. Max A said, for sure, good info. All right, man. We're about to get up off of here, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy, and we out.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.